Hello, welcome back to Let's Use the C Word. It's been a little while since my last update, so I thought I would record another one. And quite timely because today I met with my surgeon for my 3-month check-in just to see how things were going. Good news is he's really pleased. Progress has been exactly as he would hope. My scarring is healing really nicely as well. In terms of what's happened since I last checked in with everybody, so it's been a great kind of progress. You can probably see I've got quite a lot of my hair coming back. It's quite funny. My eyelashes that were growing didn't stop growing, and they actually started. If I put glasses on, they started touching my glasses. So that was a bit strange, but they seem to have calmed down a little bit now. So they're back to what I would hope be normal. I have had a couple of rocky weeks. Couldn't really put my finger on it, but basically food wasn't going down very well. I was having episodes of being very, very hot, and it wasn't working particularly well in terms of my digestion. And I was actually getting really exhausted, really, really tired. Now it's interesting because I had to go back on some of the anti-sickness drugs and a couple of the other tablets that I was taking to help with the tummy. And one of the things that we did was we decided to call the nurse, who was, again, absolutely fantastic, provided me with a lot of reassurance that what I was experiencing was considered normal. The other thing that she was able to do was remind me that I'm actually not that far away from finishing my last treatment, and to basically give myself a break. So because I'm sort of a victim of my own speed of recovery, so I have created a bit of an expectation, and so I'm expecting things to be good and improving at a kind of constant and consistent rate. And in reality, that is probably not something that's going to be achievable all the time. It will be achievable over time, but not all the time. The other thing that was really interesting, so I'm now back at work full time, and what I'd done is and I probably wasn't really even consciously aware of this, but I'd slipped out of the habit of snacking. So I wasn't eating as much in between my 3 kind of main meals, which of course are now smaller. And combined with that is I'm building up my physical strength, so I'm actually doing more. So I put less fuel in, and I was actually needing more fuel than I was having before. And so that was meaning I was feeling quite weak. And so she just reminded me to get back into that habit. Also had a conversation with the nutritionist who gave me that advice, but also, very interestingly, because we've been in the warmer weather, I'm naturally drinking more with my meal. Now it's okay, I can drink with my meal, but it's only sips that I'm supposed to have. And the worst thing I can do is drink after I finish my meal, because effectively what that does is it pushes my not yet fully digested food down through the system that's not ready to receive it. And that can make you, and has made me, feel really rather unwell. So there's just been a couple of things just to kind of remind myself that this is likely to be a 12 plus months recovery. And, I'm not very far into that, and I'm doing really well, but I've got to cut myself some slack and just go with the flow, follow the rules. The other interesting thing that the nurse said, which is fascinating from a kind of mental and psychological side of things, when you're going through medical procedures, so whether it's the chemotherapy, whether it's surgery, or whatever it happens to be, your body, but also your mind, is in fight mode. And then when you start to get back to some kind of normality, whether it's a new normal, actual normality, your body and your mind then comes out of that mode. And what that means is when something happens that doesn't feel quite right, or you're not feeling very bright, or things aren't working the way that you would hope they would work, effectively that hits you harder because you're in a slightly down dial mental and physical state. And I thought that was really interesting and fascinating because I hadn't even considered it. And it's something that I think if you step back, you go, yeah, that makes sense. So very much doing well. Surgeon's really pleased. I'm going to check in again with him in 3 months' time, and I'll also have some more scans in 3 months' time. But all good. a few little speed bumps along the way, but overall doing really well. So I will keep you in the loop and I'll keep checking in. And as always, if there's anything you want to ask me, feel free to put it in the comments and I'll look forward to catching up soon. Thanks again.